Um, family, listen. We're having a spontaneous healing circle here today with sun gods and goddesses. And Sister Kheru is dropping some major information about cold womb. And I had to pull out my phone. Please continue, Kheru.
Oh, so peace, everyone.
Let me make sure that I'm taping. Yeah, I'm taping. Okay,
The
go
enemy's
ahead.
watching exactly.
So back 1400s, right? I don't know if y'all know the significance of the 1400s, but you know the story of Maat Pocahontas. You know, it was through Pocahontas, right? Is why the land kind of became Christian, right? And what she did was she married the enemy, and you know, and this is something that I pondered on for a long time, meditated everything, like what would make her go towards, what would make her stop her father from beheading, you know, these two foreigners, right? And she stopped it, and she married one of them, and that's how the land got, because according to Christianity, it's by the patriarch, right?
Right.
So now everything goes to the man, right? As opposed to indigenous, you know, culture, is the matriarch, right? So now the land became theirs, and they started doing all the stuff, right? But now you go to the Bible with Jacob and Esau, right? When their mother was pregnant with two different nations fighting and warring, that's cold womb, right?
Cold womb.
Cold womb. When your womb is cold, it's in disagreements, right? So when you go and you're like, well, what happened prior to this? If you just look at your story, right, or my story or whatever, what would happen to turn my womb cold, right? So there's a whole bunch of different things that could happen, right? But when you look at Mataoka, she was such a young girl. So as a young girl, like, how did her womb get cold? This might be controversial, but it's truth. You know, when you go into like the families and our families, the royal families, and how we did things, right? Like, if we wanted to be alliances forever and ever, I would give you my firstborn, you would give me your firstborn, right? But there was also a lot of incest, and we still dealing with that to this day, right? So for years I was asking, why did Mataoka, why did she want to marry the enemy? Why didn't she feel comfortable with her setup, right? And you know, through deep meditation, you know, it hit me. Very, very, very intense, and it just it makes sense. Like, if you just look at where we are today and how that is just on the low, like today, that's something that we don't even penetrate or go into. You know, we don't go into the family secrets. You get what I'm saying? And this is what keeps those things happening. You understand?
Cleopatra did the same thing.
Right.
We gave the goods to the other man instead
And
of
you
our
want to give
man.
it to your
We didn't give it to a man that looked like
Or
our
your-
father
Right.
or our grandfather.
Oh.
We gave it to another species of man that was not evenly yoked with us. You know, so we depleted our race, and we paid for it, because if you have a mulatto child nowadays, you know, whatever side of the family they go to, they're not fully accepted on a lot of different levels. They're not fully embraced, and
it's
so
just
they
first
become
impression, you can
alien.
feel it. It just looks weird.
They
It's
become
like,
alienated.
You're not. It's like,
on
are you
some
black
level.
or no? You're not black.
Yes,
You
and
know?
they're confused. Yes,
And that's what
they don't know whether they're black or white. It's the whole Alex Haley story, Queen, all over again. She didn't fit in anywhere. You know, she said she's nigger. I'm nigger. But they didn't identify with her. And when she went to the white side, they discovered that she was black, and they're going to crucify her. You know, so she didn't belong anyway. So we have those traumas in our DNA.